What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the virtual mechanic, and today's project, the Salem 1500, my version, slammed edition. This one is absolutely slammed completely to the ground. You couldn't get it much closer if you wanted to. I have given this a quick test drive, not this version, on my other account, just to make sure that it actually moves and runs and goes smooth. There's a couple of fuel tanks in the back which are hiding up some suspension parts. Let's just have a look. I can't get there actually because the fuel pump's in, so I'll have to get that out in a bit. But never mind, this is what we're going to be working on today. And I really like how it looks at the moment, and I'm ever so slightly tempted to just keep it with this beautiful rat-looked patina on it. Just the more I look at it, the more I think that looks great. I'll change the grille, change the lights, or at least repair the grille, and sort these windows out. But the rest of the bodywork, I'm tempted to just leave as it is. Put some different wheels on it. I don't really like these rims too much. I like the wheel sizes because obviously I pre-programmed them to make the config, but I don't necessarily like them rims. I've got a new bench inside as well, rather than the standard seat. And the biggest change is we have a supercharged V8. And this is also four-wheel drive now. Four-wheel drive, a supercharged V8, slammed rat rod truck as it is at the moment, and looking absolutely lovely. Let's get this one started. Let's get over to the car wash and get this thing cleaned up. Here we are then at the car wash with the slammed truck. Let's get it cleaned. We already can see that it's black and rusty. I just wanted to make sure it was clean under here. And I would like, what I'd really like is to keep all of this patina and give it just a clear coat of shine. It'd be beautiful. But let's get this interior done. Let's get it back on the lift, and then we'll get the engine ripped out, ready to start stripping everything down, pitting performance parts all on the underside of this, and deciding whether we're going to keep the rusty body or not. Let's go. Truck's up in the air. Let's have a look and see if the oil pan is there. It is indeed. So let's go and grab that oil pan. Let's get this oil drained out straight away. Pretty clean, though. I suppose it has recently had an engine swap. Pretty nice. Let's go in and get some of this stuff stripped. Let's get this drive shaft off. Ignore the fact that it goes through the fuel tanks there, but we'll pretend that didn't happen. At the other end, not too bad. Let's get that off. Let's get the starter off and get that gearbox out. Probably should be ripping these front wheels off as well as we're here, but they seem alright, and it seems to be letting me take everything off. So we'll just leave it. We will get the front exhaust sections off, though. Grab the lift. Let's get it down and get this engine ripped out. Time to pull out the supercharged V8. Hopefully this comes out in one go. Nice and simple. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Next up, we'll clear this engine bay as we've got it open. I've got some liquids to drain here, so I'm going to pick a spot and I'm going to get all of these drained. I'll see you back here just a moment. All the liquids are drained and empty now. Let's start ripping some of this out. Nothing too special. Radiator. We do have intercoolers underneath the bottom there, which I have to grab out in a bit. I think that's most of it. Just got this fuse box to go. But the engine bay is pretty complete, so let's get this all stripped out, and then let's get the car back in the air and get all the suspension off next. It's not looking too bad. This is all custom built by myself, so we'll have a chat about that when it goes up in the air, which will be right now. Up you go. Have to grab these wheels off and have a look what we've got going on. What I managed to set up under here to hopefully make this work and look alright. We shall see. Off you come, wheel. Let's have a gander. Lower suspension arm, single strut, very compressed down. This is absolutely slammed to the floor with a front drive shaft that goes through the gearbox. So we can make this one a four-wheel drive. Nice and simple. And let's have a look at the other end. Maybe I should get these fuel tanks out first. Out you come. Out you come, so we can get a proper look at this. Off comes this wheel. Let's have a look. Just the straight single coil spring rear drive axle, should I say. One suspension arm and the shocks all in there. Looking pretty good. We're going to get that painted later on to match whatever we decide to do with the truck. As long as it's not rusty, because I can't put rust back on once I've prepared this. So I'm going to get this stripped. Then next up, we're going to strip that engine down to its bare nothingness, so we can get it rebuilt back up with performance parts, making it as fast as we can, while I still decide what I'm going to do with this body. So I'll see you in just a few moments. Everything apart from the bodywork is stripped off the slammed truck now. I'm so tempted to just keep it like this, but I really can't. Which is unfortunate. I'd love to keep it like this, but I've got 100% of the vehicles. I just have an innate need inside of me to get all the vehicles fixed to 100%. So we won't be leaving it like this. If anyone fancies doing me a custom livery for this truck, which I can put on it later on, that's got a bit of rusty patina look to it, maybe with like my logo on the side or something like that, hit me up in the comments. I'd love for that to happen. But it doesn't matter. We are going to be fixing that truck, whatever happens later on today. But let's get this engine stripped down. This big supercharged V8. Now, we've all seen probably plenty of these in our time. And I can't remember how to strip down the front, as it seems. I can't remember what needs to come off first. I'm going to get on and get a lot of this stripped down. Just so I don't take up too much of your time. My videos have been getting slightly longer recently, which is not something I intended. It's just how it worked out. But I'll get on. I'll get a bit of this stripped down. We'll get to the engine covers. We'll get them off and we'll see what's underneath and how it looks. But I shall meet you back here in a moment. First engine head cover literally just coming off now. And just while we're here, I'd just like to say one thing I absolutely love about this V8 engine is these plastic red engine head covers with the metal casing on top. Paint really well and give you a perfect time to do two-tone colours on them because they come out really well, which is in comparison to a lot of the other engines, apart from the mag engines. I love the mag engines. They come out beautifully painted. And we'll go get that cover off first. But yeah, I just thought I'd quickly, briefly say that's why I enjoy these engines so much, because they paint so nicely. Back to the engine, we've got dual camshafts, no camshaft covers or pins holding them down, whatever you want to call them on this one today. So it's not too bad. I'm going to get this other engine head cover off, and then we'll be able to get underneath that cover, get both of them belts off as well, and get the rest of this engine stripped down. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. Timing cover off. Now we can get these timing belts off, get the cogs off, get the camshafts out, and get this stripped down to the absolute bare nothing on this engine, I suppose. What are we going to paint it today? We've obviously, I know I'm not keeping the truck rat, and a lot of you are probably disappointed because I really would have loved to do a rat truck, but I need to paint it, and I don't quite like the rat look livery that's on the Steam Workshop for it at the moment. I may still put it on though, we will see. But next up, we'll get the rest of that body stripped down. We'll get that frame sorted before we get it all back together and send it over to the paint shop to pick which lovely colour / colours we're going to do for this beautiful supercharged V8 engine and this wonderful slammed Salem truck. Absolutely love it. I'll see you back by the truck in just a few moments. Everything's stripped now apart from the actual truck itself. Fuel tanks have gone. Suspension's all gone, and we just got to get this body off. I really, really want to keep it rat look, but I just can't. I need to 100% it. I just have an innate need to finish things off to completion. So we are going to get this stripped down and back down to its bare frame. We're going to get the frame sorted out, get it all back together, looking at brand shiny and new. A little part of me is disappointed. I did want to keep it as a rat truck a little bit, but I just can't. I just need this final statistic to say 100%. Otherwise, for me, it's not complete, which is a shame. That is all the bodywork off. Let's get the frame sorted out, and then hopefully get all them body panels repaired. 1,000. That's pretty cheap. Get all them body panels repaired back on. That looks better. Better. Still disappointed I didn't leave it. Got to get all them body panels repaired, get all this back together before we head over to the paint shop. I will meet you back here in just a little while. Sad to see the rat look go and be finished. Shame, but it is looking very nice right now. I know there are a couple of like two-tone style liveries you can throw on this. I've got some colours in mind that I'm thinking we'll see how it works out with deliveries, but that's it all back together with the interior done that you can't see because I'm too short. And you can't, we'll just take the door off. We'll take the door off for a second. There you go. Lovely bench seat, lovely steering wheel, all fixed inside. But let's head over to the paint shop. Let's get this one fixed, painted, ready to come back, ready to have all its new shiny bits thrown back on it. I'll see you back here in just a few moments. Here's what I went for on the Salem 1500 Slammed. I went for this lovely matte white colour. Really vibrant, but sort of flat at the same time with the, livery number 5 or 6, I can't remember which one it was now, that blacks out the trim on there and obviously the lettering on the back. Now with the alternate headlights that put the black trim around it and the black trim on the tail lights, I think this looks pretty good. Also, all the black in the fenders and the black of the side step there. It really sort of darkens everything up, makes that really flat white just pop off, and it looks great inside the engine bay. That engine in there is probably going to be pretty much blacked out on the actual engine casing itself. Don't know what I'm going to do with the headers. Maybe I'll do the engine head covers in a matte white with a red trim down the middle, something like that. I'm going to do a little bit of red on the suspension, probably the calipers in a red, and maybe the springs, maybe the shocks. We'll see when we get there. But this is the beautiful painted truck. I'm absolutely loving this. And that window tint is just going to be dark as you like. If I was doing this in real life, I'd love to chop that down just to make that a little bit lower. But we don't have that ability in the game, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Looking great in this matte white, though. Let's get it back on the lift. Let's get the suspension sorted. I'm going to have to paint a few bits, but I'll meet you back there in just a few moments. I've finished painting. It's time to throw everything back on the truck. For the shocks, I've gone for a black and a red combination. Pretty standard. You've definitely seen it on this channel before, more times than I'd like to count. But I have gone for some whites, reds, and blacks underneath here. Main cross member in that matte white, looking at pretty tasty. Let's throw a few of these bits back on. Just the bits we need to get us going. Obviously, the shock is in black. The spring is in red. There it is, just hiding just about. Not really a lot on that spring, so it's hard to see with how compressed it is. And for future reference, kids, don't do this with a real car. This I can do in here because it's a game and no one's going to get hurt. Do not ever compress your springs that much to get your car lowered. It is definitely not worth the hassle or the risk to your life. Anyway, let's get these brake calipers on. These are in a red because I feel this is going to be the only splash of red we've got here at the front. It is in a matte red. It is supposed to match the springs. It's hard to tell right now whether it does or not. I will come back and grab all of the bushings later. Let's get this sway bar on so that I don't forget the front end link, because it's something I will do. But that's pretty much all the colour that we've got going in the front. Black, white, and a bit of red. There's no point comparing it to the car yet. Let me throw the rear back on. So that's in white. Oh, God. It's hard to press the right things around here, although they do sort of stick out. Anyway, red on the actual shock itself. And then on the spring cap, it's a base of a black. Am I even going to be able to put this back on? I never thought of this. I can't actually put the spring back on. Can I? No, I can hit the cap. I did not think of this at all. This is the end of this video. Figured it out. I've maneuvered myself inside the fuel tank. Now I can get the springs. I was very, very worried then I wouldn't be able to finish this vehicle. I know, technically, if you're looking at this, I've done a really bad job. So I'm just going to crack on and try and get this finished. Let's get out of that fuel tank now. And let's see if we can finish the rest off. There we go. Oh, my God. I'm struggling right now. Zoom in a bit. Zoom out. There we go. Right. Whew, that was weird. Didn't think I was going to be able to do that. Anyway, spring plate in the black. Bolts themselves in the red. That spring plate, I don't know if that was meant to be black. I think I was meant to do that white, but never mind. There's quite a bit of colour going on back here. Not that you're going to see it through the fuel tank, is the words I'm trying to say. Ooh, that took a little while. But let's get this on. Let's get to the brake calipers. And then I'm going to step away and see what it looks like compared to the rest of the truck. There's the brake caliper on. Let's come off of that. At the front, we've got, obviously, the white that isn't so white front suspension crossmember because, well, it went on metal and it's matte white. You got the blacks in there, hidden by the wheel well and the red brake caliper. And at the back there, it's looking pretty good as well. I'm going to crack on and get the rest of this finished. I'm glad I got them springs in straight away. And then I'll meet you back at the engine bay when we're going to get that finished. Hopefully that doesn't have any issues like this. I don't think it does. This is the only place I believe I pit something stupid. But there was a reason, actually. While we're here, I'll just quickly show you the reason. Let's lower the truck down. We've got some bits on, and when you slam a truck, it all shows up through. That is the reason why I pit the fuel tanks there. Can't pit them in from this angle, but yes, that's the reason why they're there, so that you can't see all of that poking up through the underside of the truck. Anyway, I'll get this all finished, and we'll get the engine bay sorted. I'll meet you there in just a moment. Here it is then, suspension all fully back together, looking great in this black, white, and red combination. I think the base metal there looks quite good in the white. It's not quite white as we saw match to the truck, but it is still looking very good. Let's get on. Let's get this engine bay back together before we throw this lovely V8 engine back in here. Not too much to go on, and I forgot my battery again, obviously, because it is me. But I have painted this fuse box in black because the engine bay is already pretty white in there, so I didn't want to take away from that. I'll get on and get this finished. We'll have a look at it. I'm going to get the rest of this in underneath as well before we jump on and get that shiny new V8 engine all back together, ready to go into this truck. I think this truck's going to be pretty insane today, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I'm going to get the car back up in the air, get all of this underside finished, and then we'll go and build that wonderful engine. I'll meet you over there in just a few moments. Let's have a look at this engine bay then. That's why I did the fuse box in the black. It would have looked a bit weird in the white and probably a bit too much in red. So I thought I'd leave that one as the black. Got all the exhausts in, got all the fuel tanks in, everything like that, all the intercoolers. Looking pretty crazy. I did the fuel tanks in the black. I think, again, they would have looked a bit too much in red and a very silly in white, especially because white doesn't quite go on the fuel tanks properly. It's a bit duller, bit like the cross members. They sort of don't quite go all the way white, but that's looking pretty tasty. That's the truck so far. Next up, beautiful engine time. Let's go and get that one built. Let's see. Now, most of this, I have sort of done the block itself in black. Kept a lot of it quite dark. There are some reds and some whites, definitely some whites on the top. So I'm going to get underneath done, and then I'll meet you back when we've got a few more bits of colour on there. It's looking a bit more together. I'll see you in just a couple of moments. I've got quite a bit back together on this wonderful supercharged V8. All the camshafts are in, timing belts are in underneath all the timing cover. You can see how much it is blacked out, looking pretty black. Obviously, there is that red oil filter on there, which shouldn't be red, but I have painted it red. Couple bits to still throw on. Power steering pump in white. It doesn't really come out fully white because of the chrome finish on it. Engine head cover also in white. Hopefully this is going to look pretty snazzy when it is all back together. Get this one on. I'm going to get the cover on and get one side finished, and then I'll jump over and get the other side finished. Got the ignition coils to go in. Obviously they're not painted, they're just performance parts red. But then this coil cover itself is in what is meant to be a matte red. I'm hoping it comes out looking pretty tasty. Supercharger manifold is in white, not that you're going to be able to see it too much. And again, it's not quite perfect white, but it is what it is. This one can't be painted, so it just sits in its beautiful chrome on top of the engine. And the next other piece is the throttle. That one also can't be painted. To finish off that, these in the lovely performance parts red. I was toying with black, red, or white for these. I thought the white would be too much onto that, and I thought the black would be too much on the body. So lovely little red is where I decided to finish it. But that's pretty much how it's going to look. Exactly the same on the other side, apart from this belt tensioner, which is also white at the front there. There we go. That's it. I'm going to crack on and get this finished. Then we'll get it dropped in the truck. I will see you in just a little while. Here she is then, all finished, looking absolutely stunning. I'm very happy with how this turns out in the black, white, and red. Absolutely amazing. Didn't think it would be quite this good. Knew it was going to look pretty good, though. Well, hoped it was going to look pretty good, should I say. Let's get it dropped in the truck, and I remembered my crane this time. The crowd goes wild. Let's get you dropped in. Let's have a look how it looks in there. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Do I wish that was red? Not really. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That looks pretty smart. Very happy with that indeed. See some lights flicker in there somewhere. Can't see what they were flickering on. But that's looking pretty sweet. I'm going to get the rest of this truck all buttoned up now. I've got underside to do, gearbox, transmission, things like that to go in. Then we're going to get the wheels all sorted out. But you're going to stick with me for a moment while I get this gearbox in, because I have painted it and I want to see how it looks. Only in the black, but also the starter itself is in white. So let's see how that looked. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I'm going to crack on and get the rest of this finished, get the wheels on it, and I'll meet you outside in just a little while. Here we are then with the slammed Salem 1500. What an absolutely beautiful truck. I'm so glad I did this, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's not too low. It doesn't rub. Fingers crossed on the track. It may rub just a little bit side to side, but it is looking fantastic. These are the rims I went for. I went for the Fairlady Z rims. I just think they look retro enough, but with enough styling to be pretty sweet. They're 18-inch all the way around. The fronts have got a bit of ET20 on there just to bring them out a little bit. 225 width with a 35 profile. The backs have no ET just as they are, but the same 225 width and a 35 profile. Looking pretty sweet. I went for slick tires B with the writing on them, with the text on them. I think they look pretty sweet. They finish it off nicely. It's just a really good looking truck. I'm happy with how it turned out. And I'm especially happy with how this engine looks. I think that looks absolutely incredible with the white and the red, with the black base on there. Looking insane. I'm very happy with how it turned out. But let's jump in and see what that supercharged V8 sounds like inside this Salem truck. Let's get you started up. Beautiful, beautiful grumble there. Let's give it some revs. It's definitely sounding very, very mean at the top end there. Absolutely incredible. Let's get it on the dyno and see what power it's got. Here we are then with the supercharged V8 on the slammed Salem. 584 starting horsepower. How much have we added with our performance parts today? I can't wait to see this. I'm hoping it's going to be good. Hopefully this will be an incredible one. An additional 635 horsepower, an extra 109%, more than a whole new engine on there, fitting our new horsepower at 1,219 for this beautiful slammed truck. Let's head to the track and see whether this four-wheel drive beast can set a respectable / decent top speed. I'll see you over there right now. Here we are then at the track with the slammed supercharged V8 four-wheel drive Salem 1500. Absolutely incredible. I'm hoping this is going to get a good top speed run. But just before I jump into this, I just want to say about an announcement that I saw on Discord today from some of the devs. Says, we are working on a drag racing DLC for Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. And soon you'll be able to race against AI, bet on results, ECU tuning, carburetor tuning, and test 4 new cars. That's what the announcement says on the Discord. I'm certainly looking forward to some drag racing, especially against some AI, and maybe even a cheeky little bet here and there to see who's better. That's going to be good when it comes out. I can't wait to get in that rather than the runway track here. But we are stuck with this for now, so let's get this one going and see what speed we can get from the Salem 1500. Let's go. Being four-wheel drive, this should be good. I can't hear any bumps and scrapes and rattles at the moment, and it does seem to be sticking pretty straight. Maybe pulling to the left ever so slightly. At this speed, we're already in the 400s, coming up to 450. What will we get to by the end of the track? Will we make 500? Come on. No. 472 kilometers an hour, and we completely spun out and lost control. 472 kilometers an hour, though. That is incredible. Well done, a slammed truck. Here we are then with the slammed Salem 1500, looking absolutely stunning. No bumpers, completely debumpered, not missing, removed from the config, both front and rear. Just close that so you can see. Also means no license plates on this one. Absolutely stunning. I love how this has turned out. That engine looks incredible. The wheels are great. You've got the red brake calipers just sticking through. You can just about see them in the sunlight. Not quite, but it's not too bad. Interior with the bench was swapped out. Loving how this all looks. Black and white. Just thought we'd want a closer look at the wheels there. Black and white finished on this one. Does look absolutely stunning, and I'm so proud of how it turned out. Absolutely brilliant. This is the faux show truck, as in, for sure, it's a show truck. It's a show truck with a load of power as well. Absolutely incredible with its 472 kilometers an hour on the top speed track. Does put it in position number 10. It is a top 10 truck. Out of the 66 vehicles I have done on Car Mechanic Simulator 2021, this is my favorite so far. It looks brilliant. It goes brilliant. It's just, yeah, I would definitely be keeping this one. I did want to keep it a bit more rat look. I'm happy with how it turned out. If somebody does want to make a modded one of these, the delivery for it, black, red, maybe white with a rat look, I may come back to this, change it up later on in the future just for everyone to have a look at. I may even just make another one that is rat look. We are going to be keeping this one. We're not going to sell it, but I will go through some of the facts and figures. I bought the car for 30,161 in-game credits. Pretty good. It was just under profit on there. I'm very happy with how that turned out. I've just noticed you can see the drive shaft sticking through there. That's disappointing. It's the only thing I don't like about it. I'm disappointed now. Anyway, I'm not disappointed. Tiny little detail, not too bad. But I spent just under 50,000 on parts today modifying and upgrading this car. 49,466. Does put our total spend at 79,627. But if we were going to sell it, how much would be able to sell this one for? Let's jump in and have a look. 178,000 kilometers on this one. We bought it from the auction, and we already know we got a relatively good deal. Now with over 1,200 horsepower, an increase of over 109%. There's 107.2% tuning there. There's 109% total. But what can we sell it for? Let's have a look. 124,049. That's not bad. It says our profit's 93. That is not a correct figure. You have to take in consideration the parts you spent today, and we spent 49,000. So minus that from our 93,888 puts our profit at 44,422 if we were going to sell it, which we are not. We are 100% keeping this one. I'm going to move this into the garage. Off you go. Off you go into the parking area, and you are going to sit pride of place in front of the shop where that one was sat. Little jump there. Don't know what happened there. That was weird. Anyway, but yes, this one is going to sit here. I love this. This is my new favorite truck, and I'm definitely keeping this one around for as long as I can. With our Beetle, we do love our little Beetle. That is missing a front bumper, so it's not quite 100%, but this one is all 100% completed, minus the bumpers, slammed to the ground, looking stunning. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's my favorite truck. But what have we got up next? We got an Audi TT up next. This is the Mark 1 Audi T, modded in by, and I'm really sorry about this, Boston Away? I don't know if that's the correct name. There will be a link in the description when this video goes out for that one. But looking forward to playing with this one. I've had a bit of a look in the shop. You've got some interior parts here. I think I'll be using these ones. I think that's what's in there at the moment. Rear seat components, different bumpers, different spoilers, even got badges that you can put on, engine covers. Probably go for that one, uncovered as much as I can. Or I could just go for the strut there. The strut, loads of different bumpers, different lights, a few different options to play around with. We're going to make this one look pretty unique for next time. That is it for today's video. I should leave it there, but I can't. I just need to go back out to this truck. Absolutely fantastic. I do hope you have enjoyed this video today. What do you think about the drag race DLC coming up with carburetor tuning and things like that? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you looking forward to it? I know I am. Can't wait to get some trucks and some cars on that drag strip. Again, thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.